Yeah, well, I understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Indie versus matchup with Power Maximus and Lord Triage of the Super Breakdown. I'm Power Maximus, and again, we're here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage. We got some interesting matchups this week. Very interesting matchups, both on the Nexus side as well as the Reckoning side. The Reckoning side is going to be pretty interesting. But the Reckoning side is going to be interesting if I didn't say that correctly. The Nexus side, we gonna see. We definitely gonna see. How you feeling, Triage?
I'm chilling.
Yeah, me too. It's been an interesting week. Let's get it though. Let's get into this. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's make sure we're looking at the right stuff here, looking at the right folks here. And listen, if you guys are a part of this, if it's your character that is a part of this today, these matchups today, please jump in the comments, or if you know the creators, get them into the comments here. Now for this first match here, we do have some work that was done underneath the Facebook matchups for these characters, breaking down the characters as well as their powers and abilities. So, and man, it explains everything. All the questions that we had before this, it explains it. So this is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. All right. So first and foremost, this first matchup here, we have Solar the Sovereign going against Harbinger. This is going to be interesting. We got one character who has a paragraph for powers, and we have another that got just 2 lines. But we gonna see. We're gonna see what we can do here. Trish, you have everything set up on your side for let's see, for the power stats charts and the as well as the tier system.
Yeah, I got it up now.
All right, perfect. All right, so let's take a look here at Solar the Sovereign first. Let's break down his power stats first off. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at his tier. So we take a look up here in this top corner. He is 2 green dots. 2 green dots is let's see, that's light green. Let's see, light green puts him on a nuclear level, which is tier 7, and 2 dots is a 7B, so he can city level destruction. He can level an entire city with his power. Okay, that's pretty badass. That's pretty badass. Okay. So now let's come down to his power stats over here. So right now he's sitting at a 5 for his strength, which means he can lift between 25 and 75 tons. His intelligence is sitting at a 5, which means he's at a genius level. His speed sitting at a 4 means he's the speed of sound up to Mach 1. We don't really see 4s that often in here with their speed. With speed of sound, it's usually either like 3 or like 5 and up, usually, that we usually see in these battles. So that's refreshing. Durability, he's only sitting at a 4. Regenerative, which means he's difficult to permanently injure. Going down to his agility here, 5. He's hypersonic, able to dodge bullets at point blank range. Energy projection, he's sitting at a 6, able to discharge multiple forms of energy. All right, that's going to be interesting. And then his fight ability is sitting at a 6 as well. Master of several forms of combat. Okay. All right. So again, this is looking pretty good. He's looking pretty good. Looks like a pretty solid character based off his power stats. Nothing too crazy, nothing out of the pocket. 35, 6 foot, 205. Okay. Taking a look at equipment, he has twin flare katanas and a power suit. Okay. Look for we're gonna get in a second. We're gonna dive we're gonna dive into the Facebook post and get more clarification on the equipment as well as his powers, which are solar energy manipulation, Fahrenheit force, and Photarian spark. That sound cool. I'm not gonna lie, these, even though I don't know what they are, these two powers sound pretty damn cool. Fahrenheit force, Photarian spark. I'm not gonna lie, those shits sound, they do sound pretty damn cool. So, but I just want to like, let's see, is like the Fahrenheit force. It's like, is it the same thing as like the fire force or whatever? Yo, Tavis, what's up? This week battles are very exciting. Yes, I definitely agree. Spiff, what's up? What's up? Thank you guys for tuning in. If y'all can, I know Dre said he can't make it today, but definitely if you can get Thad in here, let's see, you know, I want to hear more about this character. But what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna jump over to their to what they was talking about underneath this post here, because now this is interesting to me. This part right here. Boom. Hope everyone can see that. I made that visible. I'm probably gonna have to like blow this up a little bit. Either way, so that states about Solar powers and abilities tag. So Solar the Sovereign has solar energy manipulation, which means he can create, shape, absorb, and manipulate internal and external solar energies. All sun energies, including light, heat, fire, nuclear, and plasma, grant him great power, capable of channeling personal electromagnetic and thermodynamic forces. Okay. All right, that's pretty savage. And then we got this right here. That's sick. That's sick. I'm fucking with that art. I'm fucking with this art right here. Definitely fucking with this art. What you thinking?
I'm having a little bit of a trouble seeing it, but I'm saying it looks dope.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to hit the good old boom. And actually, boom, full screen.
Yeah, that I'm feeling.
Yeah, that looks pretty dope. All right, so there's a few other things that were stated about the character, so we're going to scroll by the next character stuff for a second and get down here. So that says he's capable of channeling personal electromagnetic and thermodynamic forces, enhanced senses. The gift of enhanced hearing alerts him to cries for help, disturbances, and explosions from afar. Hand-to-hand combat expert, Solar has mastered numerous martial arts styles. Haliokinetic combat merging. Solar has the ability to utilize his solar powers / abilities in a combination of physical combat. He can infuse his powers and abilities with his mastered combat styles: halokinetic, flight, glide, and levitation. So he's able to use his fire to make him fly. His power suit. This is what I'm interested in here. His solar suit absorbs electromagnetic waves and recycles the intense heat emitted by the sun. The lining in the suit is able to properly store and recycle thermodynamic energy, increasing his strength, speed, agility, and durability. Can use any metal in the periodic table as a thermal conductor, since heat passes through metal quickly. He can use metal for heating, for healing, and energy projection. I got questions about that last part there. Photarian spark. The Photarian spark is Solar's left eye. Is activated when his emotions are heightened. His eye becomes inflamed when in combat mode, also known as the Fahrenheit force. This allows him the ability to see the smallest unit of matter down to an atomic level. He is able to see any element of the periodic table. His aggression heightens increased levels of strength, speed, and durability. Okay. All right. So there's a few things in here that aren't on the card. that I don't know, this the enhanced senses. Let me jump back to the card real quick. It's not on the card, so I'm pretty sure we can't use it since it's not on the card. But I mean, like, I would think that he, has like the heightened senses and everything, because heightened senses is a power. Heightened senses is a power.
Daredevil.
Yeah, so I would say, unfortunately, we can't use this part. We can't use the heightened senses, just because it's not on the card. Halo kinetic combat merging, that's it's not that's not on the card either. It's technically not on the card. Damn, yeah, damn. Now that one's tough. That one's tough. But technically, solar energy manipulation, he can manipulate it any way he wants. So I that right there would be categorized underneath the manipulation of the energy, because he's able to manipulate it into his fighting. He's able to manipulate it into allowing him to fly and levitate. So that all that goes underneath manipulation. This power suit sounds pretty damn fire, no pun intended. And the Phoenician spark. So the Phoenician spark is Fahrenheit force. So all right, yeah. So honestly, overall, thus far, he's sounding like a pretty solid ass character thus far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you thinking.
The swashbuckling Negro does sound very rather dangerous.
Swashbuckling Negro, man, come on.
Son, he like he should be conducting his own adventure on a pirate ship, pillaging and raiding across the multiverse.
Ooh.
Like if Jim ran into him in Treasure Planet, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. I'm just saying.
Speaking of that, I finished Skeleton Crew.
What'd you think?
I thoroughly fucking enjoyed that. It was refreshing. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. But no, I'm liking this character so far. I think his powers sound pretty dope, pretty strong. That manipulation of those powers, that definitely adds a whole nother level to the character. Especially with him sitting at a 6, knowing multiple forms of combat. Yeah, I feel like he a whole problem. He can definitely be a whole problem. Let's take a look here. Let's swap over to who he is going up against. Harbinger
of Doom.
Yeah. This cat looks like a whole menace.
To society.
Yeah, like J. Jonah Jameson thought Spider-Man was a problem, but this nigga right here, I can't even say nigga because he's Caucasian, but yeah, this person right here, craziness.
Do you support the ginger argument?
The what?
The ginger argument.
Hey, listen, people hate them too. People hate them too. So I don't know. I never ran into a ginger I ain't like.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep. I know what you're talking about. I don't know. Part of me personally, I'm not gonna give him the in card, but I'll accept him. I'll bring him to the cookout. They ain't got their card. They can have the G card. They can go around and call each other gingers all they want. My ginger, all they want. But no. But yeah, I say let's have them as like a subsidiary of the black delegation. You can have him as a subsidiary of the black delegation. Nothing too crazy. Let's see here. All right, so Harbinger. This man sitting at 3 dots. Not 2, not 1, 3 dots. which also puts him on the nuclear tier 7. 3 dots. He is a town level destruction, so he's only able to level a town as opposed to a city, which is 7C. Right, that's a light green, right? Yeah, it's a light green, not a dark green. All right, let's see. Let's dive into this paragraph. Oh, no, not yet. Let's look at these. Let's look at the power stats first, and let's see how the power stats stack up against Solar's. Boom. All right, sitting at a 6 on his strength level. Can lift between 75 to 100 tons, so he's got one up on him on that. And then intelligence wise, they're sitting at the same level on intelligence wise at a 5 for genius. Speed level is a 5, so he's one up Solar on that, moving at supersonic Mach 2 orbital velocity. And then we're moving down to his durability here. He is a 6, so he has 2 up on Solar there. Can withstand poison to extreme temperatures, concussion attacks, and as we all know, whatever level they are, they also have the the numbers that are below them as well. So all that. So he has 1 up, has 2 up on him on that. Moving down to agility, he's sitting at an 8. So he's reality breaking, my bad. Can exist in multiple places at once and move when time is frozen. Well then, all right. Moving right along here. Energy projection is at a 6. Able to discharge multiple forms of energy, and then as well as his fight ability, sitting as 6, master multiple forms of combat. Let's just move on down. This is what the stat card looks like in its entirety. Let's move on down here. He is 25 years old, sitting at 6'4", weighing 245. His equipment is only a parasitic suit. All right, I'm gonna have to take a deep breath on this one. Healing factor, genetic memory, wall crawling, camouflage, biomass manipulation, telepathic communication with other infected, acid secretion, parasitic suit manifestation, shape-shifting, biomass infection, stretching, physical powers, absorption and duplication, biomass consumption, and absorption. Whew. Okay. Let's take a look here. Tyvis says, the way the cards are designed, there's not enough room to fully describe the character's abilities and skills. I wonder if there's a way to fix it or possibly do another card so that there's a full description of the character to give a creator the chance to display their character's fullest potential. Yes, I definitely agree, but that's also why we encourage everyone to, when their character is up for battle, it gets posted up into the group, and that's the time for them to really to put everything out there, leading up to fight day, leading up to battle day. Granted, Nexus has quite a few more days than the Reckoning people, but that's also because Reckoning, they already have books, so we're going off of Reckoning's feats within their books as well, within the respective universes. So it does give them a little bit more. I don't know. It balances itself out. So if you're Nexus, when your character's up for battle, please jump in those comments like these guys did. And they definitely gave a beautiful rundown in the comics of the characters and their powers. And yeah, I love it. It's great. Like I said, with this situation, with Solar, the enhanced senses, they're not on the card, but they also aren't like a sub ability underneath something else. So his Solar manipulation, when it comes to the his halokinetic abilities that was listed underneath the chat, he can use those because that goes underneath Solar manipulation. He's able to manipulate that solar energy, a solar power, to make him fly and do all and put it into his combat. That's a part of manipulation, be able to manipulate it. So again, we encourage you guys to please definitely jump underneath these comments, because these cards are only so small. You know what I mean? They can only fit so much information on there. But as you can see, technically, I mean, look at Harbingers. This man got a whole paragraph. He has a whole paragraph here. So we can fit a decent bit onto these cards. We definitely can. But definitely, by all means, if there's more that you need to fix or whatever, speak with Lloyd's, let him know what that you want to update some things, and then from what my understanding is, when the database opens back up again, then y'all can make those changes and everything. But yeah, talk to Lloyd about that one. Dre, welcome. Perfect timing, because we were just getting down to Harbinger, and again, congratulations on your newly high school graduate. Congratulations, brother. That is a beautiful thing right there. Beautiful thing. That's a lot of hard work put in there. A lot of hard work. But yeah, no, man, we're getting into it here, and if y'all haven't noticed that we do have the chat live down in the corner here for everyone watching as well. So we're not just popping it up. You guys see it pop up, actively see it pop up on the screen. But I'll also bring it up bigger if anyone can't see what's going on down there in the corner as well. All right, so now with this being said, let's jump back to the Facebook post and take a look at the comments for Harbinger underneath here, which there's a lot there as well. And again, the way we're running it today, the way we're going to run it, if the power isn't on the stat card, but that power is attributed to something that is on the stat card, it will be able to use, because it just makes sense. All right, so let's see. Nicholas Naz, aka Harbinger. Let's see, powers and abilities. We just ran through that. Healing, we just ran through all that already. Let's see, stretching resistance to extreme heat, resistance to various magics, temporarily absorb the life energy, superpowers, and knowledge of their victims through physical contact, and are also able to drain virtually any other form of energy and use it as a power source. All right, so offer it with that. I see one thing that's not on the card, and it doesn't attribute to any of the power stats whatsoever, is that the magic resistance there. On the card, looking here, there's nothing on the card within the powers that would give him a resistance to magic. As well as if you roll as we roll up and look at the power stats, there's also nothing within the power stats that also give him that. Especially if you look at durability, with him being at a 6, it only says poisons, extreme temperatures, and concussive attacks. Nothing on here really gives that, states that he's able to be immune to to magic. And again, I definitely want to give a shout out to Tavis for creating working on these stat sheets as well. But yeah, there's nothing on here that gives him any kind of resistance to magic. But we gonna work it. We're gonna work it out here. Thad, thank you, Thad. Welcome to the breakdown. We just went over Solar. Still solid ass character. Very solid ass character. What do you think, Triage?
I'm not sure if solid's the word I think that the character is great. That character, but not potential for greatness.
Yeah, when I say solid, I mean like balanced. You know what I mean? He's not like too overpowered. All his powers fit within his theme. as well as his power stats fit into his powers as well. And then going off of what you had put into the Facebook post as well, all that kind of like fits together with the character and everything. That's really what I mean by solid. Definitely, but I agree with you. Yeah, no, it definitely has potential to be even greater. But we'll see. We'll see how we run this. So when it comes to Harbinger, man, I just don't know about that magic, that's gonna. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Do do do. All right, let's see. So the suit itself is made from an eldritch magical material that's not completely immune to magic. He's resistant to some magics. Okay. So let's take a look here since we're still looking here. Let's see. Thanks for bringing up the eldritch. So Naz is a human bonded with an eldritch primordial parasite known as Sledgier. Um, it with a minuscule fragment of a large multiversal parasitic creature known as Sledgia. I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm butchering that. Which shares a multiversal hive mind with each fragment of its being. Let's see. It has existed since the dawn of time, created by the Forgotten Ones, Eldritch deity Zorathus, the Sledgier. And was made during the Great Celestial War. Hmm. That's a lot. Okay. You went deep with that. Brought it. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's roll through here, and that's about it. So let's get this underway. So we are in Caesar City, all right? There's no outside help whatsoever, and the risk is none. So I'm taking that as there's no population. Let's get it. All right. So Charles, let's hear from you first. What are you thinking between these two characters? So we got Solar with his thermodynamic powers, and then we have Harbinger with his parasitic abilities as well. What'd you think?
Oh, I think it's going to come down to a fist fight. Because Harbinger has a lot more in his let's say utility belt, what he could do if the fight is fought at a distance. And I also think that because that they're in an not an isolated area, an area with no population, that also gives them a lot more range for them to completely cut loose. So if collateral damage is not a problem, this is going to get real interesting really quick.
No, absolutely. Especially when it comes to, I feel like Solar. I feel like more so with Solar and him cutting loose. I feel like because right now we're in a hero versus villain situation. So it's not anti-hero, so it's hero versus villain. So I'm taking it as like Superman situation. He normally holds back because solar energy is pretty damn destructive. It's like we see the Human Torch. He can't go supernova without pretty much destroying the world. Yeah, so I can see him being able to freely cut loose, as well as him being at a level of with his tier level being able. What was it? It was a 7B, being able to like level cities with his powers, like, yeah, I can see that getting pretty fun. But I don't know. My only thing when it comes to Harbinger is that right here he does have that physical powers absorption and duplication. So if Solar, his heliokinetic manipulation allows him to, like, let's say, like, wrap his hand in that solar energy, him making contact with Harbinger, is just going to allow him to absorb that energy as well from the physical attacks.
Hold on. What is Harbinger's energy sitting at? His energy projection?
I think they're both at a 6. Let me double check here. So his energy projection is sitting at a 6, as well as, yeah, both their energy projections are sitting at a 6. So able to discharge multiple forms of energy.
I feel like Sovereign should be a little bit higher.
Well, if he goes higher than that, then that gives him the command of all forms of energy. So it wouldn't just be his solar energy. He'll be able to control, like, any other kind of form of energy. So I think that's why they have him at that, because that kind of keeps him in the range of, solar energy. So with solar energy, it can be broken down into, like, different forms. So you have, with solar comes heat, light, and there's another one too. But yeah, so that gives him that multiple form. So, most people like, oh, solar energy, he can just, like, shine really bright, like, what's his name from The Gifted? I always forget his name.
Eclipse.
Eclipse, yeah.
Marco.
Oh, yeah, he can just create light like that. But no, with the multiple forms, like, all right, no, he can, not only can he shoot light beams, but now he can also shoot fire too. He can also shoot heat beams. He can control fire. What was everything else on the list? 'Cause he gave a nice list as well. Light, heat, fire, nuclear, and plasma. So there we go. So that definitely gives him multiple forms as well. So I think, so I I agree with you on, like, the power level, on, like, how strong. I feel like he definitely should be at a higher level on how strong that power is, because solar power is immense. Again, because like I said, it's the fucking sun. It's the power of a star. You know what I'm saying? It's the hottest thing in our damn universe right now. So I agree with you. We definitely should be stronger. Let's see. That says Solar's Helio Combat merging is an ability unique to the Photorian race, allowing him to merge his physical combat skills with the power of the sun. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So now I guess the question is like, we got to look at Harbinger's durability for that.
Well, yeah, because energy absorption is always 2, but it's like if he can't absorb the amount of energy that he's getting with, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So Harbinger is sitting at a 6 on his durability, which is, can withstand. Yep, he can withstand extreme temperatures. Sitting at a 6.
Now, here's my question:
Mhm.
what do you consider extreme temperature?
The sun.
That's
The
not
sun.
that's not an extreme temperature, in my opinion.
Well, how hot is the sun again? I forget the actual, like, temperature of the sun.
But no. What I mean is like when we say extreme temperatures, like 600 degrees could be an extreme temperature.
Mm.
The surface of the sun is better than that.
So I would count extreme temperature anything. All right, give me one sec. I'll be able to classify it real quick. Let's see. One sec. All right, so water boils at 112 degrees Fahrenheit. Right. So again, so extreme temperature is both hot and cold. So we'll go both hot and cold. We'll break it down both hot and cold for him. So if water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, the human body is made up what 75% water, they say. I would count, so I'll say 200 degrees and above extreme temperature. No, let me see. No, so extreme temperature. I would say anything that like like a normal human couldn't withstand, like the point at which your skin starts to burn off.
right? Because you figure anything below what, 20 degrees, you risk frostbite,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like I said, that's why I say that whole,
Not to mention hypothermia is even sooner than that.
right? Not so like that whole withstanding extreme temperatures is cute, but it's like what in what context are we talking about? For example, we already established that Sovereign can destroy a city.
Mm-hmm.
How does he destroy said city? So if he can do a solar flare like Johnny Storm can, but instead of him setting fire to the Earth's atmosphere, he just destroys everything within the city. Like if he goes full Peter Petrelli and fucking nukes New York,
That was a great reference. Great reference.
right? He
Let's see.
can,
He can withstand cold, extreme heat due to the durability. But he can be burned and can be frozen if it's cold or hot enough. Okay.
who can be?
Harbinger. So he
Oh,
said he can burn. He said he can burn and he can freeze. It just has to be up there. So human flesh starts to burn and melt, and like skin destruction starts at 162 degrees Fahrenheit.
all right. So they said the service to the sun is 10,000 Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's even remotely half of that, Harbinger's screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once again,
Mm.
penalties might come into play. You might enjoy the fight. You might want to play it out. You might have some fun with it. But I find it more is the fact that like this shit. This is one of them fights where once again we're assuming these two know nothing about one another, right?
Yep. Random encounter.
Right. But even then, I'm only gonna let a fight with someone who can do this type of shit, especially if he starts showcasing what he can do. I'm only gonna let that fight go so far.
Yeah. After a while, I'm like, all right, hold up, stop that shit. Stop that shit. Uh. See, here's my thing. So I looked up like how much energy the sun produces, and it's so much that I got an equation. It didn't give me a number, it gave me an equation. It was 3.8 times 10. I don't know what that symbol means. 26 watts. Wait, I
Well,
think that's 10 to the 26 power watts.
no, this sucks electrical. By the nuclear reaction, it generates 21 gigawatts of electricity needed to power the flux capacitor. Listen, motherfucker, I don't know what you just said, but I know that.
I don't know what I just read either. But I know it's a fucking lot. It's a fucking lot. It's a lot.
What I'm hearing, if we're putting, he's Harbinger's got a lot in his utility belt, but I don't think he got nothing that's withstanding that level. He can reduce. He can potentially.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need someone to argue how Harbinger is gonna get on the offensive with this one.
Let's see. So Dre says the Harbinger suit can withstand the cold of deep space. That's how it made it to Earth, and it can withstand a substantial amount of heat, up to probably a Kelvin. Probably that also depends on his rage state. Don't see rage state on here. Don't see rage state on here. But here's the thing, though. With that, we also got to look at the healing factor. It's interesting. I noticed that I always tend to look at defenses first. So it's also because I'm looking at Solar on offense right now, and looking at Harbinger on defense right now. And then in a sec, I'm gonna flip, and then we can look at Harbinger on offense and Solar on defense to see what um but even then, if just looking at these powers, here, let me just run through the powers here. Let me run through the powers here. So I'm going to go through these, and I'm going to find offensive abilities here. We have offensive would be the acid secretion. We can offensive would be the stretching, on some Mr. Fantastic level. Like the stretching is Mr. Fantastic type stretching, right? He can like stretch and punch and stuff like that, and like manipulate with the biomass manipulation, he can like stretch his arm and grow his hand. And I you know what? I also think biomass manipulation, I think stretching would go into biomass manipulation as well. I think it would be like kind of the same thing. I don't know. Oh well. Okay. Yeah. We'll get to the Photorian spark, because I found that interesting when we read through it, because we went through the page and read through each person's comments very just real quickly. Let's see here. Can also emit a concentrated beam and project a solar flare that can blind within a 5 mile radius. Is crazy work.
Well, that nigga's not using that shit on a regular basis.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Right. You on your Tian Shinhan shit though. I see you.
Definitely not. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much on offensively, but what he does have offensively is decently substantial, especially with the asset secretion, the biomass manipulation, and the stretching and stuff. So he's able to really just imagine him fighting Solar fighting. Imagine Johnny Storm fighting Mr. Fantastic, but an insect version. This is kind of and no disrespect to either person's character. This is kind of like that. This is just my way of rationalizing the battle in my head and visualizing the battle in my head. That's really what the two characters kind of like seem like they doing right now. Let's see. He can throw off pieces of his suit like Boo that can cover and absorb individuals if it's on long enough. If he touches, very similar to Parasite from DC, and takes powers. Okay. Let's see here.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Go ahead.
What did you say?
So it says he can throw off pieces of his suit like Boo, like Majin Buu, Kid Buu. He can like throw off a piece of himself that can cover and absorb individuals if it's on long enough. If it touches, and if he touches, very similar to Parasite from DC, and he can take powers that way as well.
Fucking why? Like why?
Let's see. Harbinger is more similar to Venom, and Boo and Parasite. Okay, so all right. Venom, Boo, Parasite. Okay, so he's like, all right, yeah, no, he's like them in its entirety, because they both can absorb other entities, and then when they absorb those entities, they also gain that entity's abilities. With Boo, he absorbs, boom, but that's how we get like Super Boo and shit like that. And then same thing with Venom, as we see in the Meat Garden kind of Venom, it's like the end of time, and Venom uses his abilities he taps into his genetic code to repopulate and build a whole new planet uses every hero that he's ever connected with powers and abilities to create a whole new planet. And then Parasite, he can just use other people's abilities and stuff like that. Let's see, he's resistant to fire, but he is not immune to it unless he gets someone whose powers are fire. If not, he will be smoldering into ash. Again, so yeah, it's really about his durability at this point. Can he, his durability and his power absorption, again, with him on defense, those are the two things that he's really going to have to rely on here, is being able to absorb that solar energy, contain that solar energy, and be able to properly duplicate that solar energy as well, before being burnt to a crisp.
What is it? How strong is his healing factor?
Healing factor, so that's under his durability 6. So so he would have enhanced, he has the enhanced as well as the regenerative, as well as the dense skin that can repel most weapons. So yeah, it's just, I would say I would put his healing factor on the level of Wolverine. Because last time we spoke to somebody and they were at a 4, they couldn't permanently be injured. It was stated that 4 is more so along the lines of Wolverine's healing factor, not necessarily Deadpool's healing factor.
What I don't know what that means, because Wolverine has a strong healing factor to begin with. But
so like Wolverine, he's not like, so like if Wolverine gets split in half, you got to connect the 2 pieces back, and he heals that way.
But that depends on which version of Wolverine we're talking about. Wolverine has regenerated from a single drop of blood before.
I would go with like base Wolverine usually, which is like if something gets cut off, you connect it back and it heals back, and you can run it that way.
The thing with that is that I'm not sure if that would work in his because Wolverine has to get him as some skeletons, so like we've never actually seen him be cut in half.
Yeah. I mean, no, we've seen him be ripped in half before.
I've seen Hulk get ripped in half.
Yeah, no, we've seen Wolverine get ripped in half before, especially and we've seen Hulk rip him in half in Zombies. Hulk actually bites him in half in Zombies.
I don't know. I remember that.
Yeah, this man gets bitten in half. Yeah, he's been ripped in half before. Again, we'd have to dive into that source material a little bit more to see what the prerequisites were to that.
But even then, that's sort of the same to me as surviving the explosion.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Is biomass can make whips, spikes, change? Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like his biomass and the stretching as well as the acid secretion really seems like that's going to be his biggest offensive attacks. Now that says with his power suit, we ran through the power suit. The power suit's pretty dope as well. That power suit pretty damn dope. Now the question is, you didn't run over any details of his of his weapons. Let's not forget, he's not just using energy in his punches. He also has the twin flare katanas as well. Thad, can you drop some information on that? Since they are on the card, we can take any information upon the twin flare katana. So he has actually like some physical weapons he can use here to combat that biomass manipulation and the stretching and the spikes and the swords and stuff like that. Because again, so yeah, I really see like his Harbinger's attacks really being more so along the lines of like Venom and how Riot and shit, and it can like fucking create swords and shit and all that out of their body and stuff, which is still pretty badass. So I'm interested. All right, so where are you seeing this falling? How are you seeing this playing out so far? I feel like they each have a decent counters to each other. I'm just waiting to hear more about these swords. Let's see. So the katanas are gifted later in the story. He doesn't have access to them at that point. Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 No problem. No problem. We'll hold off on the swords. We'll hold off on the swords. All right. So go
More
ahead.
dangerous question.
What happened?
Does that make him less dangerous or more dangerous?
Yeah. Yeah. But again, he said it's later on in the story, and you got told to hold off on the katanas. So we're gonna hold off on the katanas. All right. So honestly, I don't see Harbinger being able to withstand the heat that Solar is putting out there. I just don't see him being able to control that heat. And then again, with there not being a population, I don't see Solar really worrying too much about the collateral damage as long as there's no human life. Again, his title is hero, so we see heroes really not care too much about the destruction of buildings.
But
Go ahead.
they're also in a completely isolated area,
They're in Caesar City.
but no one's around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see him being concerned about collateral damage because it's just buildings, and heroes really kind of they put human life above all else. So there ain't no human life around. I can kind of see him really going all out. I see this fight going toe to toe for a little while there, and then when Solar sees that this man Harbinger is not going down. I see him pulling a desperate measure. I definitely see Harbinger giving him a fight because of the regenerative abilities, the absorption abilities, the shape shifting, the acid secretion and stuff like that. I can see Harbinger giving him a run for the money. I personally feel like the heat aspect of things, like you said, when it comes to Boo, when it comes to Venom, when it comes to Parasite, a lot of times they have a hard time dealing with heat. And I feel like it being solar energy, man, I feel like, yeah, I feel like the heat is gonna be able to take him out. I personally I think the heat's gonna be able to take him out. Um, again, like I feel like he's gonna have a run for his money with Harbinger being able to manipulate his body in all these different ways, shapes and forms. Um, we also gotta look at the camouflage as well. I looked over that, the camouflage as well. That camouflage ability may give Harbinger the upper hand.
Now he's hunting the predator. Great.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how that goes. Let's see. All of the metal infrastructure are being used as conductors. He will continue to draw energy through the metal in buildings, etc. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he wouldn't even need to do all that though. Not saying he's stronger or more powerful than Harbinger. What I'm saying is that I feel like his powers are like his specific type of power would be too much for Harbinger to handle. I don't feel like Harbinger is very well equipped for someone that can drop a sun and destroy a city. I just don't see his powers being like to that point.
There's nothing that he can withstand that at close range or get out of the distance enough to escape the blast. There's nothing that states that he could absorb that energy and make it work for him. And even if he took that energy and copied it, he couldn't use it to that full extent anyway. So if he's blasting him with solar energy, all he's going to do is redirect it and throw it back anyway.
I mean, the only problem with that is that his His agility's at an 8, so he would probably be able to dodge that attack
But see,
because he's sitting at a reality breaking, which
but
means
dodge,
he can
but
go ahead.
dodge and running are not the same thing.
That's true. He would have to like full on run and like leave the battle because Solar he would be able to drop that sun right on himself and just make himself a lot stronger. He wouldn't, yeah, like it wouldn't even do any kind of damage to him. So like he would like, yeah, you're right. Harbinger would have to literally leave the fight.
That would be like you being in the middle of the Mohawk Commons and being able to run to Albany in a split second.
Yeah,
He ain't that fast.
I mean, but even then, again, he's dropping a sun. He's dropping a sun. Like he would have to really fucking like move. But even then, it would clearly have to be like a condensed version of the sun. So he'll be able to drop a mini sun, like it'll be miniature, but have the same powers, have the same energy of the sun. And again, like he would still, again, he would have to like completely leave the battle. He would have to go to the other side of the damn world to outrun that attack, which would end up hitting him with a DQ. Let's see. He will leave pieces of himself that would flank him and touch him to build a resistance to his flames.
Hold on.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is is he even able to get close enough to him?
Yeah.
Because of the intense heat. That's the problem we're having here. You know, he's letting off this intense level of heat. You know, would those small pieces be able to even get close enough to him without disintegrating?
And even if they did, like over how long of a course is this going to happen? Because
Because go ahead.
Because how would that work? Because it's like even if he was doing that over a course of time, because his whole thing is like, if I'm the sovereign, I'm trying to end this fight as quickly as possible because dragging out no way, shape, or form is going to work in my favor. So if he's to do his little boo, grab, go on from behind and put the tentacle thing in his ass thing, if that's what he's trying to do. Those things are going to get close enough to him from the heat his body is radiating. And even if they did, how long are they going to be able to build up said heat to do that? Like that's what he's
yeah. So I think so. The way I see it is, I'm pretty sure now. I'm thinking about it with that heat resistance, they may be able to get close to him. They may be able to touch him, but then I don't think they're going to be able to be on him long enough to build that resistance to his heat, because you stated that they have to be on him for a certain period. They have to be on him for an extended period of time in order to absorb that power. So by the time they're able to absorb his power, I don't think that they're going to be able to withstand that heat long enough for him to build any kind of proper resistance to that heat. He might be able to get a little bit, but he won't be able to fully get resistance to that heat, because they're going to end up disintegrating off. It's like the closer you get to the sun, the hotter it is. So now they're directly on his person. They're sitting in the middle of the sun at that point. So I don't know. I think that it could work for a little bit of his heat. Yeah, I think it definitely could. It could work for a little bit of his heat, but it's not giving him enough resistance to to not die from a like legit spirit bomb, entire miniature sun being dropped on his head, even near him. I'm seeing this. I'm calling this battle either. I definitely say Solar. I think Solar wins in this. I think the Sovereign wins on this. And I think he would win either way, whether it be KO, whether it be knockout or death. Because I'm pretty sure like he gets hit, he's getting burnt. Let's see. So one of Solar's weaknesses is parasites by analysis, because he is balancing the speed of a Fratarian information versus the human mind. But with no civilian in sight, Solar can go. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're saying. You know what I mean? He can he can go all out. And again, these are people that they don't know anything about each other yet. This is a random encounter. They start scrapping, they start fighting. They're either dodging to moving, whatever. I'm pretty. Then Solar hits him with a blast, hurts him, or sees him heal back. Realizes, this man has a ridiculous healing factor, or he watches him regrow his arm in seconds. This man has a ridiculous healing factor. I need to end this now. Looks both ways. There's no citizens around. Call upon the power of the sun, and just nukes the whole area. Or even then they're battling whatever. He gets hit by a piece of Harbinger, and now he noticing it's sticking to him. He can't get it off of him. He feels himself getting a little bit weaker. He realizes, and he's able to grow back. Hold on. Oh, this guy's a parasite. He's draining my powers and abilities. Supernova. Scorched earth. I gotta give it to Solar on this one. I just feel like his heat would overpower Harbinger in this instance. Again, whether it be death of him like completely disintegrating Harbinger, or to making him unable to continue the battle. It's still it's a win for Solar. What are you thinking?
Oh, I'm definitely thinking Solar's taking it, but my
how do you think he's taking it? Pause.
There's nothing that he has within his arsenal that's going to combat his heat. And it's like, regardless of the fact how close he gets, the fight's not going to, like I said, if it comes down to a fist fight, I don't think it's going to work that way, because the second he sees how vast his arsenal is, he's just going to nuke him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
absolutely.
And we say healing factor. What is his healing factor at? So we say we consider it close to be like a Wolverine.
Yeah. No, well, think of it. So the way he described it, more so like a Venom. You know what I mean? They're able to like kind of just regrow pieces and stuff like that.
But the issue with that is that the symbiote's weakness is fire.
Mm-hmm. We also said Kid Buu, and that's exactly what I said. I said that. Yeah, it's like go ahead. Yeah,
that's not. Yeah, and it's like the Kid Buu didn't have a.
Did they hit him with a spirit bomb?
He did, but it was like, I don't know, man. Dragon Ball Z is a poor reference, because the power runs all over the place, and it's like if Goku had to hit through a spirit bomb that big to destroy Buu, it's like, why didn't he do that? Let's destroy the entire other world. But that's neither here nor there. Anywho.
Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely giving this one to Solar. I feel like, and again, like I said, he's a solid character, and even without using his katanas, I'm highly interested in learning more about those katanas and what they can do, because I feel like they're probably going to end up bringing him to a whole nother level. Harbinger, it's a monster of a character. Like that is monstrous. That should even be illegal. That's
another thing too, man. For like sake of the argument, say he does use them swords and those like full Leonardo and dices them into pieces. Now, he's dicing the pieces. All he's got to do is just burn them up individually.
Yeah, isn't it? That's what Trunks did to Mecha Frieza when he came back. He just diced his motherfucker up, hit him with a big ass ki blast, and like toasty. Oh man, and again, nothing against Harbinger whatsoever. I feel like against anybody else, if he went against anybody else, he's walking away with the dub. If he went against anybody else, he's walking away with the win. But yeah, I like this one. I like this one. This one was not It wasn't overpowered. It wasn't one-sided. You could really look at each person and really have to really look at it. But again, Harbinger is a villain, so he's going to be doing anything in his power to win. And it doesn't matter what it is. It's just that his fire, that fire is just too hot. He's too hot for him. He's definitely too hot for him. Again, we're looking at the sun, being able to withstand the heat of deep space. That's one thing, but extreme temperatures, like he's not pulling a Superman sitting in the center of the sun for 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's just not the center of the, and even then, the heat that's also being radiated in space as well, from the sun. It's just not, it's not the same as sitting in the center of it. Yeah. But yes, I agree. Solar takes this one. Awesome battle, awesome fight, some amazing characters. But hey, Triage.
Yeah.
You tired of hearing the same old voices on your feed?
Yeah, I'm straight.
Well, check it. I say you got to tap in to the indie primetime, bro. Like,
how do I do that?
Well, so the indie primetime, just before you even tap into it, let me let you know what's going on with this, right? So the indie primetime, it's a powerhouse collective of your favorite indie and blurred podcasts, right? Who have joined forces to bring you the freshest takes on everything from underground gems to mainstream madness. Bro, I'm talking comics, culture, commentary, like all unfiltered, bro. I'm telling you. And then whether you're like deep into indie trenches or you're vibing with the blurred elites, like they got your next bench, dude. I'm telling you. So like follow the movement, check it out, and plug into the convo. You know what? Let me just show you what they working with here, because these guys are on a whole nother level.
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms where legends are born and destinies entwine. Delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all, and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't know this harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus sham. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically the sum made up like you define math. This crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. I'm Mary band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blur's Eye View. And without further ado, we out.
All right. We are back. We are back. Oh man. Yeah, that was an awesome battle. That one was good. That one was real fun. Now I'm interested. I'm definitely interested to see what we got running up next here. Final remarks on the last battle.
I would like to see the Sovereign again.
Agreed.
Maybe so much not so much a power based duel, but maybe a sword duel.
Yeah. I want to see it. I agree. I want to see a battle that's to utilize more of his physical combat, because this was the power. He wanted against Harbinger. His physical attacks weren't going to really do anything. He needed to use that heat against Harbinger. Since Harbinger can absorb those physical attacks, yeah, no, he definitely needed to take a step back and handle this from a distance. All right, now this is going to be an interesting one because I believe I'm not 100% sure. Guys, definitely correct this. Is this a rematch between these two, or what are we looking at here? Is this a rematch? Because I think I saw these two go toe to toe before, but I'm not 100% sure. But we gonna get it. Let's do it. All right, boom. We have the Absolver from Concrete Comics by Jamel Leslie. Let's see. All right, so Absolver. This is some sick comic work here. Let me pull this back so we can really appreciate this comic work here. This man looks sick. That art style is pretty sick. First time. Okay, this is their first battle. This is their first battle. All right. Okay. We're gonna have some fun here. Let me pop the chat back up here. All right, let's get into it. It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be an interesting one. So when it comes to the Absolver, right, we're gonna let me bring this back up so I can get closer in like I normally do. Trias, you said you have everything on your side, right?
I do.
Yeah, want to go for it? I don't know. Do you have the tier list?
I do not.
Okay, all right. So for on the tier list, he's a dark green. So that means I'm pretty sure he's on an urban level. Is that a dark green or light green? What kind of green is that? Let me see. Let me just match up these greens here. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's tier 8 urban. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the same green as tier 8. He's sitting at 1, so that's 8A. Can cause multiple city blocks of destruction. Okay. All right. So his name, it says a mezzo from the depths of oblivion will vanquish those that oppose him. He's an anti-hero. So let's remember that he's an anti-hero. All right, let's take a look at let's dive into it. Go for it.
All right, let's see. His strength is sitting at an 8, shooting not an 8, shooting a 4. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. His intelligence is sitting at a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, what is the clock again?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The clock.
That's speed.
Right. His speed is at a 2, so he's not super fast, but he's got something. He's got a little bit of.
Yeah, he's moving
right.
25 to 30 miles per hour, around like they say normal.
His endurance is a 4, so he's no slouch with defense.
Yeah, he's regenerative, means he can't permanently be damaged.
With an 8, let's see, his energy projection is sitting at a 5.
Yep, that's long range and duration, single energy.
But hand in hand, he wants all smoke.
Ooh, ultimate knowledge of combat. He wants all the damn smoke. But the reality again that agility is sitting at an 8. That's reality breaking. That means he can exist in multiple places at once and move when time is frozen. On top of unlimited knowledge of combat, that is insanity. That is insanity. Like, I'm even more interested about this character now because this character, like, if you looking at his art, he looks like he'll be like fucking like Vision or something even worse than that. Like somebody, he looks like a character that'd be like fucking omnipotent or something like that.
Yeah, he looks like
right?
an Omni-Man Spawn type character.
Yeah, Absolver. But here's the thing. Now, we'll get to that in a sec. We'll get to that in a sec. And his equipment. Let's see. Ooh, one moment. All right. Equipment. He's got a cloak. I want to know more about this cloak. His powers is called Vanquish. Allows him to steal the abilities, knowledge, intellect / knowledge, powers, and instincts of any soul. Interesting. He reminds me of a mixture of like Adam Warlock, Silver Surfer, the Vision, all these characters kind of like wrapped into one. That I'm getting them vibes from him. I'm definitely getting the vibes from him. All right. And again, creator, please jump into the chat. If you guys can get your mail in here, let's get them in the chat. Let's learn more about these characters. Because again, you guys are coming across, two new people. We don't know as much as you guys know about these characters. So please get in here and back your character up in this battle. And because remember, this is Reckoning now. This is the Reckoning match. So we're going off of, comic feats and what they can and can't do within their comics. So on top of what's on this card. So if you got some wild shit in your comics, you need to put it out there and for us to actually put out there and see what we can do with these guys. Right. So let's hop on over to who he's going against. He's going against Hopebreaker. And now this character, like you said that Absolver reminds you of Spawn. This character reminds me of Spawn, specifically Spawn. And I don't know who that is in the background. I'm pretty sure that like I've seen like animation. I've seen animation, and this is his villain. The dude in the background in the purple with the white is his villain. So yeah, let's definitely take a look at Hopebreaker here. So he has 2 of those light green circly thingies there. So which means that's 8B. If I remember correctly, that's what, an 8B. Yes, can cause a city block level of destruction on an urban scale. All right. So while nuclear, tier 7, we got, town level, city level, mountain level. These guys are on more of a city level, can, destroy some city blocks here. Okay. All right. All right. Let's take a look at, hold on, give me a sec. All right, these guys' power stats are not, I don't think, they don't look too far off from each other. Let's see. All right, yeah. So by all means, go ahead, Triage, take over. Let's take a look at what Hopebreaker is rocking at right now.
So strength-wise, he is also a 4. Intelligence, he is a 3. Speed, he is a 4, so he's twice as fast as the Absolver. So endurance-wise, they're both sitting at a 4. Intelligent wise, we're sitting at an 8. Energy projection is a 5, and then hand to hand he is a 6. So pretty evenly matched, actually. We haven't had a fight this evenly matched in a minute.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let's see here. We want to take a look here. We got some info. We got a little more info on, let's see, on Hopebreaker as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting right here. All right. I'm sorry. Continue.
Let's see. He has his equipment is a symbiotic outfit.
I want to know more about that symbiotic outfit. That shit sounds cool.
Yes.
Nether energy weapons.
So I'm assuming that's from when they say that means from the Nether realm.
And they're energy weapons too. So it's like they're not. He's not how Spawn. He's shooting bullets. He's shooting like endless energy blasts.
So he can not only that, but his powers also allow him to conjure weapons, allows him to see ghosts, create portals, summon Hopebreaker army, summon soul chains.
I'm sorry, did I read that wrong? Because I said armor.
No,
I did read army. Oh, okay. Hold on. That's something different. I thought that said Hopebreaker armor. I'm sorry.
Summon soul chains, transfer powers, intangibility. He can become invisible. Possession. He has a healing factor. Spirit drains.
Spectral shroud.
Not quite sure what that is. And possession immunity.
Okay. So let's see. So he's lifting 800 pounds to 25 tons. He has a learned level of intellect. He's moving at the speed of sound. He is difficult to permanently injure, but his agility is reality breaking, and he can exist in multiple places at once and move when time is frozen, as well as has long range and duration for a single energy form. And his fight ability is at a 6, which means he's a master of 7 forms of martial arts, 7 forms of combat. Okay. Oof. I don't know. This is all right. So this is gonna be an interesting one. This is gonna be interesting. I think let's take our time with this. All right, let's take our time with this. So can I make this bigger? I don't know why is this so. Give me a sec. I'm trying. We have some extra information here. So able to conjure weapons out of nether energy. Has the ability to see ghosts as well as see people's souls. Can create a portal to summon his small Hopebreaker army. Able to summon soul chains from the Wraith zone to hold people's souls in place from different angles. Able to transfer powers, able to change into a Wraith form, and which makes the user intangible and invisible. Has the power of possession, healing factor, and strength. Blah blah. Normal. Able to give some of his life force to someone to revive them, but only if they died within a couple minutes. This process ages him. Soul whispering. Marcus can communicate with souls on a deeper level, hearing their thoughts and understanding their past experiences by touching them. His powers lets him gain valuable information or influence their emotions, potentially persuading hostile spirits to aid him. Spirit drain. Marcus can drain energy from ghosts or spirits to temporarily enhance his own powers. By absorbing spiritual energy, he can heal faster, become stronger, or increase the potency of his abilities for a short period of time. Marcus becomes immune to possession by other spirits, wraiths, or beings that try to take over his body. His connection to the spiritual realm makes him resistant to external control, allowing him to protect his mind and soul. Ghost Portal. Marcus can open portals to the afterlife or spirit realm, allowing him to transport himself or others through dimensions. He could use this ability to escape danger, bring others to the Wraith Zone, or even send enemies into the spirit world, trapping them there. All right, here we go with the Spectral Shroud. Marcus can envelop himself in a ghostly mist or aura that makes him harder to detect, blending into shadows or disappearing from the sight of those with weaker willpower or senses. His weapons, 2 miniguns made out of nether energy, and his sharp cape can cut through steel and can block incoming damage. All right, let's see where we are here with these comments. All right, so what I'm understanding is Marcus and Dom. They're two people who combine together to create Hopebreaker. Let's see. Marcus is white and gold, and Dom is purple and black. Oh, okay. All right, so okay, all right. And I'm only using Marcus this fight because they both have different abilities from each other. Okay, all right. So we're only going over the gold and white. I see what you're saying. So imagine like Green Lantern style, both the ghostly energy, and he has an army. Okay, all right. That's a lot. That's a lot right there. All right. This is pretty interesting. Give me one moment. Be right back. I got to think on this one. So it's two people in one. Give me one moment.
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms where legends are born and destinies entwine. Delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life, a Death Star. So far removed from the drama, we don't know this one, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus shine. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically the sum made up like you define now. This crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. I'm Mary band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blur's Eye View.
All right, and we are back. All right, so all right. Sorry, I just had to think over this real quick. So, this guy, I'm sorry, he just has a lot of powers and abilities. All right, so this is going to be interesting. So again, please guys, don't take our heads off. We have not actually, we haven't been able to read through the comics for these guys. So we're going to go based off of what we have here in front of us, which is, I don't know, man. Where are you falling? All right, so off rip, before we even get into breaking down an actual battle between these two guys, what are you thinking?
Sounds more like Nexus than a fight.
Damn. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. This is crazy between these two. This is gonna be a really interesting battle between these two. And I don't All right, so check it. This is how I see it. All right, so we got Absolver, Hopebreaker. So I don't know if you heard, but Hopebreaker is actually two people. So the dude that was in the purple, that's the other guy. So what we're looking at here, so the gold and white, his name is Marcus. The purple and white in the back, his name is Dom. They come together to make, they're both Hopebreaker.
So it's like a firestorm scenario.
In a way, they both have their own separate powers and abilities. So there's a gold and white Hopebreaker, and then correct me if I'm wrong. There's the purple and white Hopebreaker as well. They're both Hopebreaker, but one they have different powers and abilities. But he said we're just going with Marcus, which is the gold and white right here, instead of the other characters. So the symbiotic suit. I would like to know more about the symbiotic suit and how that runs. His artillery is ridiculous. Hopebreaker's artillery is ridiculous. The conjure weapons. What I read, 2 miniguns. 2 miniguns. He's able to conjure 2 miniguns. So that's pretty sick. But again, that's also not on the card here. If we get some panels, we do have some panels. We do have panels here. Give me 1 second. We do have some panels here for Hopebreaker. Here we go. I don't know. Is this visible? Everybody can see it. Yeah. It's made of nether energy. So Dom is Marcus's villain, but he lives inside him.
What?
Yeah. Hold on. All right. Yeah. Well, okay.
When you say inside him, what do you mean?
Like, is it like in his mind?
Like, is he a split personality? Is he like a whole other deity that separates off and becomes his own separate entity? Like, is it like the whole poly twins thing? Is one absorbed the other brother in the wound, and he's on some Dr. Venture shit where now he wants to get back at him because he can't live in his body anymore? Like, what does that mean?
Is this some painkiller type shit?
Yeah, painkiller, for example.
Now you said we got to check out the book. Okay,
that was his response. We got to check out the book.
Because again, remember, we're only using the one. We're only going off the one. We're going off the one. So we'll check out the book for to know like what that means. Those souls are combined 2 separate people who now share a body. Okay, so it's 2 souls, 2 separate people that are now sharing one body. 2 separate souls who now share one body. Okay. All right. But yeah, so here we have some clips from the from his book. So look, we got, all right, so soul chains. Okay, I see that. I see that. And all right, so they're coming from all different directions. We got his cape. All right, I definitely see the cape running like Spawn. He can see the souls of the rats. More cape impalement action. Oh, ain't no way, bro. You're not telling me that this is the Hopebreaker army. Is it the Hopebreaker army right here that we're looking at? That is hilarious. Let me see if I can zoom in more. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. I probably can't. No, I can't zoom in any more than this. But they're like little chibi versions. They're like Bamfs. I just learned about Bamfs yesterday. You know what Bamfs are?
No.
So Bamfs are Nightcrawler's little minion brothers or whatever. Like the whole story is ridiculous. So pretty much though, Azazel had went through like a hell realm and found like these like fucking giant demonic maggots and then fed them his blood and they became like they transformed into like little chibi versions of Azazel. But the same thing ended up happening when Nightcrawler was born or whatever. He ended up having his own and they end up naming themselves Bamfs. That's all they can say. So he has like an army of little tiny chibi versions of Nightcrawlers that all they can say is Bamf, which is also the noise that
he makes me teleports.
Yep. So that's what they look like. They look like Bamfs, and then here's the miniguns here. Yeah, they legit look like Bamfs.
Is this like that whole how many first graders could you take out in an emergency type shit?
I don't think so. These guys, those guys were fucking adorable. They were adorable. Those little things are fucking adorable. I'm pretty sure they wreak fucking havoc. I'm pretty sure they can wreak a lot of fucking havoc. Pretty sure. Oh man, it's so small. I can't read it. I can't read it. This is your army, Marcus. You will. Yeah. Guys, definitely check this out. This is adorable. And first off, this art style. Oh my god, the arting, the inking, all this, the lettering, all this is so clean. And if you notice, when Marcus talks, he has a regular bubble, but then when this angel here talks, his bubble is like golden or whatever. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. All right, let's get back here. Okay. All right. See what it can do. I see what it can do. Those things look like little damn rascals. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like they would be a problem. All right, versus Absolver. Let's see. Vanquish. Again, do we was anyone able to get Jamel in here in the comments for Absolver from Concrete, because I need to know more. I need to know more about Absolver before I can really I can really give him a fair fight. So these characters, they're matched out in, let's take a look. Boom. So they're matched out in strength. Absolver takes it in intelligence. Hopebreaker takes it in speed. They're matched out in durability. They're matched out in agility. They're matched out in their energy projection, and then Absolver takes it with the fight ability. Ooh. But now Absolver, his ability of Vanquish essentially would allow him to become to steal the powers and abilities of Hopebreaker and the instincts of and his instincts and stuff like that. So I would end up putting him on an equal level in that sense. But with that symbiotic outfit, the nether energy weapons, Yes, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. Absolver does have a video, and I did bring that up. Let's take a quick moment. And let's watch this Absolver video. Bring up the Absolver video. Yet I did not. I didn't. I completely forgot to play it. All right, when we watch this video real quick, let's see what we got.
And
Heaven
here we
Hell
go.
has its demons. Oblivion has vengeance incarnate in the Mezzo known as Absolver. Absolver is a Mezzo from Oblivion. His suit is actually made from his own soul. Absolver is equipped with the usual set of super strength, durability, and the like, but what sets him apart is an ability known as Vanquish. Vanquish allows him to copy the skill sets, abilities, and knowledge of any living creature. The process of this ability is horrifying to the opponent that's getting attacked by it. Anyone attacked by Absolver's Vanquished ability has their soul torn from them and duplicated. They then witness their copied soul get devoured and the original thrown back into their body. The turmoil Absolver's opponent goes through definitely varies from opponent to opponent. In every instance this attack was used, the opponent was rendered unconscious. All right, let us know who you think can stand up to these characters here in the Indieverses, and check out the interview with the creator on our weekly Indie Breakdown episodes now on Patreon and Spotify. If you want us to break down your character, or fill the form out on our website, midnightcomics.org. And remember, until next time, midnight is coming.
Okay. All right. So with that video being put out there, I honestly I heard a lot about his Vanquish ability, more so than anything. That Vanquish ability seems like it is pretty damn devastating if you get hit with it. All right, so what are you thinking? What are you thinking here? Well, hold on. Dre just brought up a good point. Hold on. So if he uses Vanquish, and if Dom and Marcus are the same or within the same body, who's to say that he's stealing the intellect and abilities of Marcus? He could end up stealing the abilities, knowledge, intellect, powers, and instincts of Dom, of the other person, instead of the person he attends, since both of their souls are in one body.
So is that one of those things where he kills one or attacks the other? Or here's the other thing too. So here's the interesting take real quick. So technically this isn't a one-on-one, this is a two-on-one.
No, so
no, hold on.
No, go ahead.
So I'm saying it's a two-on-one because if Dom is conscious of everything Marcus does, Dom is not going to let Marcus die, because if Marcus dies, he dies.
So all right, so Spiff, in this situation, is Dom and Marcus separated in this fight? Is Dom and Marcus separate? Let's read this real quick. So with Dom and Marcus a combined soul and immunity to possession, I don't think he would be able to copy his soul, but if he does, it's taking on Hopebreaker's demons along with it, and it would be like trying to copy a broken USB drive. You might only get fragments. Ooh, okay. What we got here? He is always with them because they both make up the character Hopebreaker.
Yeah. So that's not
okay.
That's it. So this is a 2v1 first and foremost, because whether Dom is good or bad, whether Marcus is good or bad, if one of them dies, they both die, because if the body is destroyed, then the soul can live. So regardless of what issues they're having, they're going to put those aside just to fight this one character, because they have to survive.
And
so
I'm getting painkiller. I'm getting painkiller vibes.
Right. And my whole thing is like, if one just because Marcus isn't willing to kill, that doesn't mean Dom's not. So, you got the white wolf and the black wolf. Which one's going to win? It's the one that you feed, and if you feed them equally, you win anyway. You're not supposed to be good all the time. There's nothing wrong with you being bad. You just can't be evil. So
So from my understanding is like, so Lord just said so that they can't be in control at the same time. So I guess so painkiller scenario, they can't be in control at the same time. So that would mean Marcus would have to be in control. So we're solely going off of we're going so whoa.
but the reason why I'm saying this is because there's two different souls. If there's two different souls in the one body, he's fighting one or copying one. Now let's also not forget where we are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, you're right. I didn't bring that up. This battle is taking place in Malbosia's lair, the 8th circle of hell.
And we already have a character who's a soul splitter. He can really rip someone's soul from their body and copy their abilities. Now, I don't necessarily get how one has to do with the other, or just because you can copy someone's abilities don't mean you necessarily know how to use them. But it's also written in that he can automatically know. But using someone's abilities and having your body be able to withstand the stress of using said abilities are not the same thing.
I mean, let's see. I'm on him already. Let's see. His durability is sitting at a 4, right? So that was, what was that? That was regenerative. Can't be permanently damaged. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Let me see here. Yeah, but we also have to look at these chains here. Where are they at? Where are they at? Where are they at? Oh, where are they? Yeah, my mouse was on it. The soul chains. So soul chains, they can hold anything like anyone's soul. If you see the white body, Marcus is going in control. If you see the purple, that means Dom is in control. All right, so we're rocking off of just the white. So we got Dom in there, but Marcus is in control. So it's like, yeah, all right. So it's like Yuji and Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen.
I was gonna go with Net. I was gonna go with Yugi in the Pharaoh, but
Yugi and Yami, yeah, essentially like that. Yeah, so so Dom can be in there talking his shit in the back in his mind, like, hey, yo, do this, do that, do this, do that. But it's Marcus that's going to be in control and doing it. But again, from what I just showed, neither one of them have a problem with killing, really. What was that? Someone just said that Dom killed a whole room full of children. Yeah. Dre said Dom is a murderer. He killed an entire. This man got Anakin Skywalker in his head.
He didn't even walk. He didn't even bother to take the belt off. He just whipped his dick out and just violated everything. That's the time he's on. Okay.
Jeez. But in the panels that I just recently saw, as Absolver, I'm sorry, as a Hopebreaker, yeah, the bad guys, this man was impaling him with his cloak. He was impaling him with his cloak.
Impaling children with his cloak?
No. He was impaling enemies, like no, he was impaling the bad guys, the people who's fighting with a cloak. So yeah, he's not afraid. They're not afraid of killing. I think this isn't even going to be able to get to a hand-to-hand battle. Because I think so hand-to-hand, I'm saying Absolver's taking it hand-to-hand. But I don't see this getting to that point, though. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I don't see this getting to that point. They're both what? They're both anti-heroes. And from what it looks like Hopebreaker is not even caring about, like, yo, you're my enemy. It's on. You're my enemy. It's on. I'm using what I got and whatever I want and can use to take you out. And again, this is going off the panels that were sent. Just going off the panels that were sent. Yeah, he literally he's just running through impaling henchmen that are just walking around. Henchmen, they didn't even pull guns on him yet. He's just impaling henchmen on his cloak, on his shroud, and soul chains. Not to mention being able to break out fucking the miniguns and I don't know. Yeah, I don't see this even getting to that physical. Yeah, I don't know. If you have a gun, why are you gonna go hand to hand? Right? Am I right or wrong? Like, I'm pretty sure if I have a gun, I'm not squaring up with somebody. I'm not squaring up. If this is a life and death situation and I have a gun, I'm not. We're not squaring up. It's life or death right now, sir. So I don't even see this getting to a hand to hand. But Absolver, we got to look at his agility. His agility's at an 8. So he's breaking reality with his speed. Multiple places at once. Move when time is frozen. But they're also equaled out at that. All right. So their agility. So this way I'm seeing it. Agility negates each other. That's not even a factor. The durability negates each other. It's not a factor. The strength negates each other. That's not a factor. The energy projection negates each other. That's not a factor. So the things that are really gonna turn the tide here are their fighting ability, their straight up speed, and their intelligence. On top of their powers and equipment. So Absolver hasn't beat in intelligence. Absolver hasn't beat in combat wise. And then that's really it. That's what he hasn't beaten. But Hopebreaker hasn't beaten hasn't beaten speed, and then also I think that's the only thing he hasn't that's the only thing he hasn't beaten speed. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, Triage, what are you thinking?
What type of fight do you think it's going to be? Like we already both agreed, so it's not going to be a fist fight.
Yeah, this is not going to be a fist fight. I think that this could take a spiritual turn and be a battle on a more spiritual front, with these two characters. But I think in that case, Hopebreaker is going to be taking that because I feel like his spiritual defenses, but also his spiritual offenses are going to be stronger here. Yeah, I think if it goes on the spiritual route, I think Hopebreaker is going to take that, especially with those spirit chains, being able to pin him down, pin down his soul, and then he also has that soul immunity too. So Absolver's vanquish ability wouldn't work on him because he's my bad. Hold on. Let me stand corrected. That's not spiritual immunity. That's possession immunity. So he can't be possessed. Right? He can't be possessed. But he still has the soul chains. He still has the intangibility, the invisibility. He can possess. He can create portals. And not to mention his little Hopebreaker army, a group of little savages, little angelic savages, it looks like. He also has Spirit Drain.
So the question I want to ask is: all right, he has the army. Would he summon them?
He can summon. He summons them.
No, not can he? Would he? Is that the
Um,
$1 million question?
to be honest, I think he would. I personally think he would, just based off the panels that I just showed. You know, he's going into a battle and not really giving two fucks about the enemy. Like, he's straight impaling them, like straight just like impaling them. Like,
He's
niggas were just standing guard, and next thing you know, they're being obliterated by his cape.
just randomly penetrating people. It's wild.
Yep. Just randomly penetrating random goons. Yep. So I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure he would. Spiff is also saying, yeah, he definitely would. He definitely would summon him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing. So I'll put it this way: I'm seeing more offensive and more defensive abilities, on Hopebreaker than I am for Absolver.
So how is Absolver how is Absolver combating the army? That's the question.
I don't see anything here. Only equipment he has is his cloak. I'm pretty sure his cloak can do some wild shit as well. But powers, we only have Vanquish underneath his powers, so all we know is that he can steal the abilities and intellect / knowledge and powers and instincts of any soul.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. If he's surrounded by an army, he's gonna hold his own. But how vast is this army?
Oh, of the little guys.
Yes.
I don't know how big the army is. It looks like there's in the panel. There's quite a few of them. There's quite a few of these little guys.
We're talking about 4 or 5 dozen, even maybe 4, even maybe like 200-300. He might be able to stand a chance. But if this shit's like in the thousands, or if it's just endless,
I don't know. Let me see. So in the first panel, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the panel, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm pretty sure this is a lot of them. This is probably just what came through the portal when he acted, because these panels are like training montage panels of him being taught how to use his powers and abilities. So if he acts, so just learning, he's able to summon like 9, 10 of these guys. And again, these guys look like they are up to absolutely no goddamn good. They are here. I'll share it again. These guys look like they are literally up to absolutely no good whatsoever. Yeah, absolute madness. These guys look like they're up to absolute madness. Bring it back. Right here. These guys right here. Yeah. I'm trying. They're reminding me of like the Raven Rabbits and shit like that, and then little motherfuckers that just like are just yeah. He just yeah, bro. I'm leaning in the side of I'm definitely leaning on the side of Hopebreaker on this one.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing more offensive and defensive as opposed to Absolver. I mean, when we do have a panel from, let's see, is that from issue 1?
Would the panel matter? Because are we only going off of what's on the cards?
Well, remember they're reckoning, so we can go off of their panels too.
Oh, excuse me.
From the books, yeah. So is this from issue 1? That's a good question, because I'm pretty sure it's for reckoning. We're leaving at issue 1. Either way, but yeah. So this other panel here, kind of interesting. Nope, not this one. Not this one. This one here. And it shows this panel depicts Absolver going to get somebody who ended up running a stake through his shoulder, and I don't know what it is that he's throwing on him. Looks like a bunch of little Cheetos. Throws a bunch of Cheetos on his body. I don't know the context of this, so I don't really want to speak too much on it. But yeah, man, in this situation, and these battles specifically, this one I'm gonna have to get to Hopebreaker.
Yeah, Hopebreaker definitely got it.
Yeah, both on he has more defense, he has way more offensive than Absolver, at least from what's stated for Absolver. Yeah, I would like to see more of Absolver though, because I want to get a better understanding of like his powers, stats, and abilities as well. Because this man has unlimited knowledge of combat. That could be pretty dangerous as well. But I just don't see this battle getting to that point based off the way I see Hopebreaker moving in his panels.
The only way I could think this possibly goes in his favor is if his cloak is like some omni weapon that we just don't know about. And the second he starts swinging the cloak, like the possibilities were endless, or his ability to was it insist or not insist?
Vanquish.
No, not vanquish. What was the other one? He had the power to interact with souls, correct?
Absolver?
Yes.
Yeah, his power Vanquish allows him to steal the abilities, intellect / knowledge, powers, and instincts of any soul.
Okay, so the only thing I could think of is if that he was able to interact with the souls inside Hopebreaker and then turn them against one another. If they're having like an inner conflict about how to handle him, and then he somehow dispatches them, or if they're too fighting each other, they can't fight him.
No, I 100% agree with you. There's a possibility he could turn them against each other, but Spiff has said previously that if he did tap into him, he wouldn't just be stealing like any of their powers and abilities, but they'd also have to deal with apparently there's demons inside of him as well. But again, also if he was able to turn those internal demons against him, I feel like that will be the only way he'll be able to run it, because from what I'm seeing from Absolver, he's not getting close to you. He's slipping through the shadows, taking you out, moving on, or if you got to go toe to toe, he breaking out the big guns. He's using his soul chains. He's using his cape. He's using his nether energy weapons as well. Because again, I'm getting this straight hardcore Spawn vibes from this character. And I feel like as if you look at Spawn from the animated series, shout out to Keith David. If you look at him, like in that he Al Simmons was not fucking around.
By no means.
By no means. He was not fucking around. He's pulling miniguns from his cape, everything to get the job done. Because that's how Al Simmons was trained. You get the job done. You complete the mission. I don't know, man. I think it's not getting close. It's not getting close. It's not getting hand to hand. I think Hopebreaker's taking this one. And again, nothing against Absolver whatsoever. I personally think Absolver is an absolute beast. Within his own realm. It's just he wasn't very equipped for this fight.
Like I said, the only thing I can think of is that cloak is a very versatile weapon, and we're just not seeing it, or it's not
Yeah,
elaborated on well enough. Because
yeah,
like if he can use that cloak like the way
cloak.
like
He uses his cloak.
or like the way Captain America uses his shield, like if he can use it defensively, use it offensively. If he's blocking, if he's twisting it and it's extending into a stab, or if he's snapping it, it becomes a whip. Like if because he's already got the top tier level for hand-to-hand combat. If he
Yeah.
has the ultimate weapon on his back,
Absolutely.
and like I said
Absolutely.
before, so it's not so much the weapon as it is or the power; it's how creative you are with the ability or said tool.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. So it says, yeah, he only has knowledge of fighting styles if he copies people, but not before that. I mean, it sounds like he has unlimited knowledge. So it sounds like Absolver has unlimited knowledge even going into a battle. Going into a battle, he has that unlimited knowledge, but then he's also able. Wait, no, are you telling me straight from his book that that's not how that works? That the unlimited knowledge stat is only based off of him being able to take anyone's fighting style using Vanquish? Oh. Oh. Yeah, Hopebringer wins. Hopebringer wins. So apparently that 8 in combat ability only works when he
When he
takes that ability. So it's saying he has unlimited knowledge because he has the ability to take that knowledge from people.
okay, now here's a question: does he retain the knowledge? Period.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he retains that knowledge though.
Okay.
I mean, I would think so. I'm pretty sure he retains that knowledge. Anybody he steals, he retains it. But yeah, no, man. Yeah, no, yeah, nope, yeah, nothing. I can't think of anything else. Hopebringer wins. Ding, ding. Oh man, that's damn. That's disappointing because Absolver looks like an absolute problem, and I'm pretty sure he's a problem within his own universe as well. But nah, man, these were great. These were fun. Especially that first one right there. We had a lot of fun with that first one. That first one was pretty cool. I'm definitely tapping in more to Hopebreaker. And I saw a little bit of animation that Heartline was doing with him, a little bit of animation stuff. So I'm definitely tapping into that. Yeah, so first matchup between Solar and Harbinger. Solar took that one. I just feel like Solar was better equipped with that. His fire, his heat was too hot. So Solar taking the dub over Harbinger. And then in this situation, Hopebreaker taking the dub over Absolver. Anything else you want to add there, brother?
Nope.
Yeah, man. I think that's pretty clean cut. Got any final remarks?
That if your character is going to be using a weapon or using a unique piece of clothing or material, do the best you can to elaborate on said thing without going over the top about it. Like we all like if you grew up through the 90s, you remember watching Xena.
Yep.
Now that chakram might have come off as a very one-dimensional weapon, but she didn't use it that way.
No. She used it a lot like Cap uses his shield. She was bouncing that shit off trees and shit.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like it's also one of those things like where she could use it as a close range weapon, as like a dagger or a blade, or she could throw it like she would like the way Spartacus threw his sword. Like there's so many different ways that things can be used. And it's like if you're going just as far as like this person has a cloak, this person has a hoodie, this person has a cup of lean. Like I didn't even know what he can do with that cup of lean. Like what happens when the cup of lean is spilled? Is the cup of lean dropped on poured on someone and has a different effect? Like I need specifics.
Hey, well, for that we got to ask Lil Wayne. Apparently, Lil Wayne says you can do a lot of amazing things with lean.
That sure man's. It sure man's.
I'm sorry, you can't deny that he's a solid artist.
I will deny that shit.
Debatable.
Okay, all right.
I'm not saying he's the greatest, not at all, but I do most certainly enjoy a good portion of his music. I'm not going to say it all, but I'm going to say a good portion, because once you start getting on the gang stuff, I can't rock with it no more. But once he starts playing with the wordplay, then okay, cool. But anyways, no, man, I agree with you. Let's work on elaborating on our equipment a little bit more as well. Again, these were great. I would have liked to know more about Solar's katanas. I cannot wait to learn a little bit more about those, because I think those were definitely going to give him an even bigger edge with him being able to imbue them with his solar abilities, using that heliokinetic manipulation. I'm pretty sure that's going to be, oh my God, I can, for my Bleach fans out there, I can see like a fucking solar flare Getsuka Tensho with that shit. Oh my God, that'll be fucking sick. And not even that, a double Getsuka Tensho. That'll be sick. That'll be fucking sick. A giant blade that runs as hot as a damn sun. Shout out to my boy Escanor, or RIP. Man. But no, these were great. Definitely tune in on Wednesdays for your Nexus matchup announcements. Tune in Friday for your Reckoning matchup announcements, and then tune in on Saturdays around 5:30. I know we started a little bit late today due to technical difficulties, but we still made it. Yeah, so tune in 5:30 on Saturdays for the rundown of these battles and how we think they would play out. This has been great. And then most definitely, of all things, tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for our show, The Super Breakdown, as we continue our Star Wars month with none other than Darth Maul. This is going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun. This is going to be a really great one. I've been doing a lot of research this week for Maul. I sent some feelers out to some people. Unfortunately, nothing good. Didn't get anything good from it. From the feelers, which is very saddening. It sucks. It's sad, but we move on. And one day those feelers would pay off. One day, just not today, but one day. But definitely tune in next week. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be fun. This has been the Indie versus Matchup. Thank you guys for tuning in. And, as we redefine power scaling and abilities. And as always, remember, fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
Bitch, I'm